Hey you guys, happy spring. Welcome to April. Today I'm going to give you guys a quick garden tour, just kind of show you guys the changes that I've been doing here for the past couple of months and a few of the plants that I'm going to feature in this video because I'm super excited about them. So come along with me. We're going to do some harvesting of some greens, or not greens, but like the carrots and beets that I've been growing through the winter so that I can get some spring tubers and vegetables in. Come along. So in this space here, you guys noticed that the post here is gone. I was finally able to figure out a solution to how to support the arc here so that I can free up this space. So I've made, well, I didn't make this. I put the grow bags here as the raised bed, and then next to it I did like a really simple, inexpensive raised bed that's temporary because these are going to be for loofahs and yams, so for annuals and for tubers that I'll be harvesting, and it's going to be super easy for me to take this apart to harvest. So if you guys want to find out how I made this, be sure to check that episode. I will link it down below for you. So I will be growing loofahs here all along on this side, and then the yam, once they sprout, they're sprouted about like 2 inches right now, so I'm going to let them grow a little more, and then I will plant them along this side, and it's going to grow up this way. So really excited about this new space here. And then right on this side I got different kinds of mint. If you guys can see, this is a type of mint that smells a little bit like a fruity smoothie, so it goes really well with smoothies. So this is actually the type of plant that they harvest to make perfume. So some people think the smell is intoxicating. Patchouli, that's right, that's the name, patchouli. So I actually dry it for tea. I kind of think it smells better in a little bit in my tea. And then these is actually one of my favorites. This is the strawberry mint. Oh my goodness. And then right over here, this is the pink Spanish lavender. I totally fell in love with it since ever since I saw them. And their blooms are so unique. They're much larger than the other ones, the regular lavenders. But this is also for culinary, and the bees go crazy for these beautiful pink lavenders. So, alright, I'll take you guys along this side here. So just across from the arc trellis, I actually moved back this netting, this plastic netting here for beans. I'm going to grow those stringless green beans that I've shown you guys in an episode where I did at my friend's dad's Asian home garden. So I really love those green beans, so I have growing them along here, also with some scarlet runner on the side here, and then that would sort of pretty much leave out with like the shade vegetables, which usually would mean leafy greens, because this is actually a more shaded area, especially once the vine starts growing over on the top where the loofah is. It's going to really shade out this area, so I'm going to keep like cilantro and shade-loving plants. And one thing I want to tell you guys is that my absolute favorite winter green is these Japanese red mustard greens. They grew really well for me in the winter because for us we don't really get much sun at all. Probably just 2 hours of sun in a very tiny little spot in the patio space. So what I was only able to really grow successfully were greens, and one of my favorites were these deep purple. I mean, once they get a lot of bright light, but it doesn't even have to be like direct sunlight, you get this beautiful almost black color and super strong tasting. I really love them in soups. So yeah. And parsley do really well in a lot of more shaded areas. So I think I'm gonna eventually, if it gets way too shaded out here, I can always just grow a bunch of parsley here. So let's head over here for a little bit of excitement. So this is my rose apple. Some people get confused between rose apple and jambu. The reason being is some people call jambu a rose apple. But after you I mean, the jumbo fruit is really beautiful, and it has a very light hint of a rosy or floral fragrance. But after you eat a fruit from the rose apple, you're gonna be like, oh, this is actually a rose apple. I get it. If you guys haven't seen that episode where I ate this off my friend's tree, check out that video down below. I absolutely have to say that rose apple is one of my favorite fruits of all, because I really love the smell of roses in anything. So if you guys are a floral sort of a lover, you're gonna love this fruit. This tree is grown from the seed of those fruits. And I'm so happy that last year there were like 3 to 5 fruits, and then eventually only dropped down to about 3 fruits left for me. But like last year was the first time fruiting on this tree, so it's sort of like the practice round, right? So this year I am so thankful for all these beautiful buds. They're just getting so plump, more plump each day, that I cannot wait. I cannot wait till these are gonna flower and fruit, and I'll be sure to keep you guys posted about that. Okay, another thing I gotta say is be careful, because I have actually knocked down a few buds here walking through this area. This is sort of like a high traffic area. This is actually also a very sunny location that I just have to kind of work with. Right over this side here, I have been loving strawberries. These are the white Alpine strawberries. Look at them. You have to actually wait for them to, you can see that they actually, those leaves, the upper part would start to kind of lift away from the fruit, and then the fruit would start to smell really strong when it has a little bit of translucent. That's when you know that the fruit it actually has this like the peak of ripeness. So let me show you how easy this fruit would just fall off. Let's see how that is. It's like a gummy. So strawberries, springtime, especially for small gardens, strawberries are really great things to grow in a small garden, and they're just so tasty. You cannot buy, usually you can't buy strawberries that taste like homegrown. So I think that's really worth it to grow. Right over here, these are the carrots from winter. You can see they're flowering. Oh, the flowers are so pretty. I actually don't even want to harvest them because the flowers are so pretty. But you know what? The leaves of carrots you're able to juice them. Some people I've heard even chop them up and put them in curries. As long as you cook things that are like very tough in fiber, you chop them up and then you cook them down, they're gonna soften up. So you can either do like curry sort of style, or I just love to juice them because what the heck, it's just so much faster that way, right? So since these have been growing all winter long, I'm gonna just harvest these with you guys so that I can plant some new things in here. Let's see how I did it. Oh, I wonder if they're so little because I didn't water them enough, because grow pots you really have to water a lot frequently because they it's just so breathable. Thank you. Here we go. They're really cute though. Gotta say, carrots is something I need to work on growing better. So these can make really beautiful flower arrangements for your home. Look at that. And if these were the only flowers I have in the garden, I would just probably end up leaving them for the pollinators. However, there are some flowers around the garden that they can go crazy over. So yeah, if you guys have any tips for me on how to improve my carrots, please let me know in the comments below. Alright, let's go harvest some other stuff. These are my winter veggies, the beets, so let's harvest. Okay, so beets are looking really good. So beet leaves are edible too. Thank you. That's so gorgeous. I really love this color. Isn't that beautiful? So these beets took a while to start to bulge up, because anything with like tubers and flowers, things that would fruit. Basically anything besides leafy greens actually need a lot of sun. And since in the winter, like I said, there was no sun here at all, it was just full shade really, that these things did not start getting big until the last month when we were starting to get more sun as, you know, we approach the warm season. So that is how long it took. And then finally I'm going to harvest this one as well. You guys, does this variety get bigger than the red ones? Because, oops. Look at that. So pretty. I love the orange. And then of course, I love these cheerful violas. Alright, let's come along. Just gonna harvest this as well. Oh, goodness. Wow, oh my goodness. You guys, I've never, hold on, that was caught. You guys, I have never seen like roots looking like this. Have you? Have you guys seen anything like this? It kind of reminds me of like legumes or something. What's going on? Let me know, you guys, if you're familiar with this, with what this is. And across from the beets, we got some nasturtiums. These are the ones that I got like a bonus one out of the 6-pack from last year that came up again. This is the variegated variety. I just love variegated plants. I mean leaves that, especially in like a more dark back corner or something, it really helps to kind of brighten up that corner space, you know. And this one being in a little more shade actually works out better because once it gets too hot, the nasturtiums would die back. So growing them in a bit apart shade would help give them a little extra time for you to enjoy really. So the thing that I've been pondering about these is that the first 3 flowers that came up were the colors of flowers that I've never seen in this garden before. And I was just super excited about that, and then after that, like by the 4th flower came, the rest of them kind of came and kind of revert back to the original colors from last year. Anyway, they're still really beautiful, and I'm going to try to grow out the seeds from the more unique flower colors to see if they would come back true or not. This is my tower garden that did amazing through the winter because I had like, you know, pansies on the top and then these like mustard greens. Mustard greens, like I said, did really well in the winter for me. So after these grow out, you know, I'm going to continue to let them flower a little bit until I get to them. Meanwhile, the pollinators can enjoy them. And then I already put down like the dahlia bulbs in there. So looking forward to, you know, growing some flowers up high so it gets a little more sun. And then right next to this, you guys, these ashitabas are about to flower. I've done an episode talking more specifically about the ashitabas. Make sure you guys check that out if you're interested in medicinal herbs. But this one here, whenever they're about to flower, they start shooting up really fast and really large. And it's just, when you put like a row of them, they just look almost like, it's super lush, just like a jungle. Definitely gives you some really nice shade. This is the white mulberry. I'm really excited. I hope that it's going to fruit soon so I can actually taste it. And I gotta cut back these celery. I probably can harvest a few here. And then this one I'm getting ready for growing some melons. This is the ground cherry. I am super excited about this one. Now I've overwintered this in the garage during the winter time with the grow lights, so that's what kept it alive and growing, but it wasn't growing anything like this, of course, but it was, you know, still gave out a couple of flowers in there and fruited, like 2 fruits in there. But anyhow, because I was overwintering this, I have the advantage of getting them to start fruiting much earlier. So now, you know, just early in the spring season, I'm getting plenty of growth, plenty of buds and blooms, and even this little one, this first fruit this year on this thing. So if you guys overwinter, you know, some like tomatoes and or chili peppers, and of course this ground cherry, you can get a head start the next year. And then behind it, I got 2 yacons I just planted in again. Really love these ground tubers. And got some blueberries ready. Some people say you actually need 2 plants, 2 varieties. I only have space for 1, so let's just see what happens, you know, like I always say, to experiment. And it gets a little more fruits when it's in more sun. This is a more shaded spot for it, so it's okay. I mean, I'm still really grateful to have these fruits, and this is one of those ones that do really well in containers, so for small gardens this is perfect for it. This is my strawberry tower. What I love about it is that it's the vertical space, so it really helps us save space and to grow more food, especially with strawberries. There are some like more ever-bearing type of strawberries that would fruit through like a longer season. However, generally speaking, I mean, you can dry the leaves for tea, but you know, as far as the fruit goes, once it gets too hot, it's a little hard for them to bear fruits, and so it's a really great way to save space when I have them all in a tower. They're actually putting up tremendous growth. That one came as a volunteer. That was the Japanese red mustard. And yeah, I really love this one. I'm hoping to get this one to grow some more. This one actually has the pink flower. And it looks like this fruit. Let me see if it's ready. When you can smell the fruit, it is a sign that it is ready. Chewy. Thank you guys for joining me out here to do a little spring garden tour for you and to harvest these winter vegetables so I can get some spring plants growing here. So I'm going to get on juicing with these. I'm going to actually might steam up these beets because they look like they're really tasty. If you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and hit that bell button next to the subscribe button so that you'll be notified once new videos are out. If you guys want to, you know, support my work, I really would appreciate it. You can go check out my website at wendiland.com. I'll leave the links of all the information that I've mentioned in this video in the description box below. Thank you guys. Happy gardening. I shall see you back here in the next video. Bye!